Hello everyone, welcome to Rockshire Gaming. My name is Eric. Tonight we're going to be doing our last update video on the content for Zombicide White Death. The campaign is officially over as of 40 minutes ago from my time. It is 9:40 p.m. on April the 26th. I did want to do a live stream this evening, like I did with the Marvel United video, where I kind of like ushered in the last half hour of the campaign. Sadly, just due to some stuff going on around the house and stuff like that, I wasn't able to just get on right when I wanted to, parent stuff, all that kind of stuff. But we are going to go over all the updates now because there is still late pledging that can be done on the campaign. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at a little bit of numbers first for some comparisons, and we're going to go over the actual updates, and then we'll go over some final breakdowns and comparisons to the other games in the fantasy line. So without further ado, let's go ahead and switch views and get right into the update. So yes, CMON has finished their last Kickstarter for Zombicide White Death, and this is what the page looks like now when I go to the homepage. If I'm not logged in, which right here on this tab I am not. Other tabs I might still look like I am, but we'll see as I go through them. But as you can see right here, we've got the late pledge button there. So if you did not pledge during the main Kickstarter, you can hit that button right there and go through the steps for doing the late pledge. If you did give $1 to the pledge, do not click on the late pledge. They will tell you not to do the late pledge. You actually can't even click on it if you're logged into your account. I actually logged out of my account so that way I can show this to you. But there is there's that they don't want you to basically double up, essentially, because you've already paid the $1. You're going to mess up something in the system, I'm assuming. The whole thing will explode or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, don't go to the late pledge if you've already pledged to the campaign. So we'll scroll down here since we don't have it all right here anymore, but we have it right here though. So we had 19,303 backers pledged for $3,839,614. It's a lot of people. So actually, I've never actually looked at number of backers for these campaigns. We'll kind of compare that here soon. That's one of the things on the list of things. But that is the last update today. We had 111 updates, and that is what the game brought in. So, math-wise, unfortunately, the game, and we'll kind of get into it a little bit later, but the game did not beat Black Plague or Green Horde as far as the numbers game goes, in terms of dollars pledged. We'll go with that. The all-in for this one, and if you added in a bunch of the add-ons and whatnot, I think it came close to being around the same pricing and everything as Black Plague and Green Horde. But the caveat to all this, and I said it I think in the last video, is that Green Horde and Black Plague, if this were those campaigns, or if this campaign was set up like those were, we would still, well, one, we'd probably still be trying to unlock stretch goals we already unlocked, that we've unlocked here, but this campaign would still be going on for another week. Black Plague and Green Horde, both, like I said, this is day 22 of this campaign. Do I have it written down here anymore? Probably not. But on Green Horde, Black Plague, when they hit their day 22, it was July 1st, and that campaign ended on July 6th, so it was still going on for another 5+ days. Green Horde on their day 22 was June 21st of that year, and they were still going on until June 27th. So both campaigns still had another week. Now, granted, they were at this time only unlocking like 1, maybe 2 things on these days, whereas this campaign, because it hit the 48-hour mark and the reminder email went out to all the people who liked or saved the campaign on their Kickstarters, and a lot of the more funds, those last 2 days we're going to get a lot of funding from. So it's not necessarily fair to compare our day 21 and 22 to the other 2 campaigns, because the numbers are more inflated because of the 48-hour reminder. Had this gone through another, had this campaign honestly gone through another week, we on day 21 probably would have gotten to, I don't know. I don't know where we would have gotten. We probably wouldn't have gotten from the last update, from day 20's update. We probably wouldn't have gotten to the Hanya, um, the necromancer that was announced on that day. We probably would be trying to unlock them now. So, and then all these other stretch goals would have been over the course of the next. So we may have gotten maybe 2 or 3 extra stretch goals, but as we'll see here in a little bit, we didn't need them. We didn't need those numbers. So we're not going to go as far as, let's go with money wise. I mean, I guess we can go with monies and talk about that a little bit as far as where the day 22s ended. This campaign ended on day 22 at over, let's see, what did I say? So we're at 38, 3,839,000 plus dollars in this campaign. The Black Plague at the end of their day 22 was at 2,000,005. So we actually had a major jump. If I'm reading all these numbers correctly, during day 20, 21, and 22, we got over $1.3 million in this campaign. So again, that's why it's kind of weird to talk about these numbers. We did, because again, the inflated 48 hours, we did at the end of day 22 surpass where Green Horde was at the time. Green Horde brought in way more money because of that extra week of funding and everything. So it's not really a fair comparison. But for the day 22s, this campaign did beat out those campaigns at that point. But again, because of the extra week, because of the fact they hadn't hit their 48-hour marks yet and gotten that extra push from the notifications that would have went out to backers or potential backers, there was just unfortunately no contest for those games. Now, the one game we have been comparing it to, as far as funding, has been Undead or Alive. You know what? I did put it on here. Give me 1 second. We'll switch over to it. So, Undead or Alive, we're looking over here. It finished at 3.3. And this one finished at, what did I say, 3.8 plus. So we actually did $500,000 more than Undead or Alive. So in a couple different ways, this campaign skirted past this campaign and a few others in the Zombicide. Basically, the only thing this campaign, we'll kind of go over it a little bit later after I go through all the updates, but this campaign basically beat every other Zombicide with the exception of its Fantasy Brothers, so Black Plague and Green Horde, and it definitely did not beat Marvel Zombies. Everything else that I just went back through and looked up real quickly, the numbers, it did not win. It did not beat it. So with that said, we'll go ahead and take a look at the actual updates, starting with update 97. The last update we did was 96. So Dai Chan, that character was unlocked, and we've got Honda Takadatsu. I believe this is going to be another general from Japanese culture right there. Honda Takadatsu's winning streak seems to be holding out even in the face of the zombie plague, giving him an edge in any situation. In addition to his lucky streak, he's also a skilled combatant, allowing him to weave through the zombie hordes, dealing hits along the way. Strangely, any light wounds he sustains are able to heal themselves over time, an invaluable trait to have in these times. So looks like he's going to have some kind of movement boost, or like a self heal in his arsenal. His lucky streak, that might be something having to do with rerolls maybe. So we'll see how that goes in a year. But yeah, there is his character model, his artwork, his bio there. So that is that right there. So the next update 98, he's here for a hopping good time. We got the Jiraiya at 2920 K there. He rides a giant toad into battle, leaping over enemies with great ease, allowing him to always have a position advantage over his foes on the battlefield. Riding his trusty companion into battle, he never has to worry about maneuvering about the battlefield. He can focus on casting powerful spells to decimate his foes while his trusty companion takes care of the rest. So this is kind of interesting because we've got a guy here basically reading, I'm assuming, a spell book of some sort, hanging out with a giant frog. It's also going to be interesting because this character also looks like it has I mean, it's not a frog, so it looks like it's a mounted character. There is no mounted combat in this. It's not like it's undead or alive, but it's going to be pretty cool. And this is him towering a little bit over Dragon. I can't remember his name, and they always use him as the test character, but so it's pretty cool. He's gonna be basically looking a lot of the abominations straight in the eye instead of being towered over, so that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get to our next update here. It says now you see it, now you don't. This is update number 99. We unlocked at 2920k Jiraiya, and now we have the much anticipated Yeti. This is one that I know a lot of people are wanting to have a Yeti figure in the campaign. So the Yeti was unlocked at 3010k. Right there is an abomination figure. So the Yeti, despite its large stature, is a master of concealment. It possesses the uncanny ability to hide from survivors, even in plain sight, making it impossible to take it down from range. The only way to defeat it is to get up close and personal, but is getting that close to a big bloodthirsty beast really such a good idea. So he's not going to be able to get shot from range. He's going to be you're going to have to go back and actually go run into melee to hit him. So that's going to be pretty interesting. There is his model, his character model, and there is how big he is compared to the other characters. So for all of you who were wanting your Yeti the entire time, there's your Yeti right there. So next update is the daily unlock maximum horsepower. So we've got Ma Chao right there. He is a swift and decisive survivor with the exceptional movement and combat skills. He can easily rush the guards to move multiple zones, charge in a battle with powerful strike, and eliminate the undead with ease. He is a valuable asset to any group fighting for survival. All right, so this is also another looks like Chinese general character, most likely from Three Kingdoms. I actually don't think I have anything written down for him, but that is going to be that character right there. There's a character model with all that I would say hair, but it looks like a headpiece, maybe. I don't know, but nonetheless, very cool. And we're squealing in excitement for our final daily unlock. So we'll see what kind of, I guess, pig monster that's going to be. Next, we're going to have She'll Bring Honor to Us All, another Disney song reference, but we actually do get Mulan in the game, which is also pretty cool. So it does go into her bio there with the with basically the plot of Mulan. So it's pretty cool that she is in the game. The harsh training that Mulan received while conscripted has made her light on her feet. She has the ability to dance across the battlefield, gracefully avoiding enemies while positioning herself to deliver the finishing blow. It would be a mistake for zombies to take their eyes off of her. In a split second, she'll be right behind them with the blade coming toward their neck. So she is going to be a pretty formidable fighter. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having her in the game. There is her character model. Not sure how this sword is fitting into that holster there, that scarab there, but yeah, we'll go ahead and call that one a win. But yeah, that's very awesome miniature, very awesome design. I like it. Next, we're gonna have Monkey Together Strong. The next update was for Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong moves deftly across the battlefield, honing in on his enemies and using his super strength to crush them to bits. Up here, he is a Coquin, and he would be gladly aid his people, especially against an undead horde. Furious to learn that the ancestry has consorted, or that the aristocracy has consorted with the necromancers after the emperor's death, Sun Wukong wields soars through the empire on his flying nimbus, crushing the undead with his immense strength and punishing those that have caused to this travesty. That whole thing was not my fault for not being able to read that. But I'm pretty sure this is I want to say this is the original character from Journey to the West. If It's basically what Goku is based off of. Because there's his I cannot remember the staff. And it's probably up here somewhere. I don't remember the staff he had, but he did have the flying Nimbus. So there's that character right there. There is his figure. So the last 2 days of figures have actually been pretty cool and interesting. So I'm liking them a lot, liking the designs. This will probably be, after going through the core box, this will probably be one of the first survivors I do play as. But let's go ahead and get to the next one. Get ready to be blown away. So the next one is stretch goal is going to be for the King of the Tengus. Sojobi has made his appearance and will blow you away. He is an abomination character. I believe this is I think this is an Oni or not. He's a formidable deity, taking to the skies and blasting gust of wind that could wound, as well as any blade. He soars above the battlefield, making him a very mobile abomination. And he even has a bird's eye view of the battlefield. His body is impervious to ordinary weapons, so facing him requires careful preparation and strategy. So they may have to use some kind of a vault weapon to actually attack this one. And it says soaring above the battlefield. So if some of the other abominations don't have the same ability as the Khan abomination to climb through the walls, he's probably just going to fly past them. So that is pretty cool figure right there. I like this design. That nose is something else, but he is towering. He's probably one of the bigger figures that we have had in this compared to some of the other abominations. But I like that that design. He is even for being like modeled very slender, he is a beefy boy right there. What he's holding right here though, is that he's either bending his arm or he's holding something? I can't tell here, but anyway, regardless. So let's go on to the next update, Clouded with Fury. So we unlocked the winged boy there at 3250. So he was unlocked this morning on the 26th. So our next stretch goal was Zhao Yun at 3320k. He will unlock for all backers the Kickstarter exclusive Zhao Yun, including his ID and figured. So he is a master when it comes to wielding the pole arm. The pole arm's long reach usually becomes a disadvantage when enemies get too close, but not for Zhao Yu. With effortless grace, he can pierce and cleave through multiple foes with a single strike of his weapon, taking full advantage of his weapon's strength and power. So that means he probably is going to be getting some kind of a boost to specifically using pole arms with melee damage, making it a little bit more accurate. It says in here something about it becomes a disadvantage when enemies get too close. So I wonder if the pole arm has some weird penalty that like the normal range 0 melee weapons have. So we'll see how that fares out in the game. That was interesting because it's the first time I remember, and I've gone through every single update in this game. But I wonder if that means there is some kind of penalty for pole arm. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and continue to move on. And if it seems like I'm rushing through these updates, I am slightly, just because there are more updates than we've been covering over the last couple of days, and there's a bunch of stuff I want to kind of get to at the end of this video. So like I said, I will try to slow down a little bit because I realize I'm kind of rushing through this, but just stick with me. We'll get through it together. Next update is everybody was Kung Fu fighting. The clouds over our next stretch goal seem to have dissipated. The next stretch goal is going to stick it to the zombies. So I'm pretty sure this says Jaiki. I'm assuming that's a weird way of saying Jack. But Jaiki's natural luck grants him a slight advantage in combat, allowing him to strike more efficiently. In addition, he possesses a set of specialized skills earned from years of training, including the ability to jump high up with ease. Jaiki is sometimes driven by an intense bloodlust in battle, while other times he chooses a more magic-based approach. I'm pretty sure this is Kung Fu Panda. It is the only panda we have. We have a few bears in the game. I don't know what doesn't say. At least my scanning doesn't say what animal race this is, but It's Panda. It's Kung Fu Panda. We all know it's Kung Fu Panda. So that is pretty awesome that we're getting that character. So I'm enjoying it a lot. Next update was the daily unlock, the last daily unlock number 21, which is the daily day 22 unlock. Hail survivors. Let's see who this is. So it's going to be Zubaji, Zubajai. Zubajai. Okay, daily unlock brutes are, and he's a brute. So apparently someone missed this one on my list. I don't have him on my list at all, so we'll add him to my numbers right here. So there's that. So we're going to update in real time. So though once a formidable fighter in his own right, this one's strategy involves sending forth his army of undead soldiers to engage in the brunt of the battle. With the furious squeals, he drives a legion of shambling corpses forward, inspiring them to fight with renewed vigor. While his minions do the dirty work, he remains at a safe distance from the fight, seemingly indifferent to the chaos unfolding around him. So there is going to be that character. This might be the end of the daily unlocks, but this is not the end of this update. We have also unlocked Jack Black, and our next stretch goal is Lubu, one of the another characters, I'm assuming from Three Kingdoms, that everybody has been asking for. Yes, I have written down there that he is a Chinese military general, politician, and warlord. I'm pretty sure he is like the major warlord of that era, seeing as how everybody was clamoring for him to be in this game. Every time I looked at the comments, the fact that a stretch goal was not him was apparently sacrilege. So, but he was the unlock at 3480. So, let's see. His Lubu is a renowned fighter throughout the land for his combat prowess and deadliness, but also for notorious acts of treachery. He is equally capable of eliminating his foes from afar or up close. Once Lubu gains momentum in combat, he lands blow after blow, allowing him to tear through hordes of enemies in a flurry of attacks. So there is that character. I kind of like his hairpiece. You can tell it's like thinner up here because it's feathers, but for some reason it is the model has to be a little bit thicker or else it probably breaks. So we'll see how that actually looks on the actual model because these are 3D renders. But that is going to be that update right there. So we've got a few things from the daily right today. And the next one, mountains quake beneath his feet. He's been unlocked pretty quickly. Next comes a mighty Oni, whose might could easily level mountains. We've got the Kaijin. He is regarded as a demon and fearsome entities that reside in the wilderness and often turn invisible to cause mischief and murder in most civilian regions. The ancient Oni is a towering presence over the battlefield. There is no use hiding from him. He is literally has a bird's eye view of the battlefield thanks to his immense size. The Kaijin takes huge strides across the battlefield with each swing of his giant club, and each swing of his giant club extends his already long reach. His formidable foe and its mere presence will unnerve even the most hardened survivor. So it looks like he actually gets, I don't know if a double movement or if on a movement he moves 2 spaces. And then giant club, so extends his already long reach. So I'm wondering if melee is going to be a 0-1 or even a 0-2. So we'll see how that goes. And this right here, he is towering over the regular survivor. Even like the other one that we had. Oh, I don't have it up anymore. Even the other one we had, the was it Jiraiya maybe? That is probably only if you see the. Can you see the mouse? Yeah, it's probably only going to go to about right here. I would think so. That survivor figure that's riding on the, I can't remember his name, that's riding on the frog. So right here is probably where it's going to come up to. So this is going to be still a towering figure. So I'm glad even toward the end, I know we didn't get a full-on dragon during, spoilers, during this campaign other than the one from the Divine Beast. And even this one looks like it's going to be bigger, but it's pretty cool that we were getting some large figures from the campaign. So next, a fortress to protect your treasures. So once we completed that last update, we got this update 108. So there's 3 more updates after this. We got the Frozen Fortress at 3730K. They are unlocking, and that's actually some pretty nice artwork right there. But they were going to unlock the Frozen Fortress, which is basically just the box to hold these stretch goals into. I don't know if this kind of like lost the momentum or not for the campaign, but anyway, it's always I still don't understand why CMON with the stretch goal box. It's one of those things where it's like, what else are you going to put the stretch goals in? Because there's a ton of them. Like, and we'll get into those numbers here in a second, but like, there are between the daily unlocks, the stretch goals, and everything. There were, let's see, like there was like 80 plus 80 90 characters in this game. Um, uh, just from that, so it's like it's a little. I don't understand why the box for the stretch goals isn't just here's the box for stretch. I don't know why they waste a stretch goal on it. But anyway, there's the Frozen Fortress right there. So the next update, because they were apparently having a little bit of trouble getting through this last update, is we have a bundle up with some vault equipment cards. So they added in a new set of Wintergrad specific cards. It's only 4 vault cards, so it's not like there's going to be a couple of these in the deck. There's going to be one of each of these pieces. So the set contains 4 winter equipment cards: the Wintergrad shoes, hat, gloves, and fur. This is going to be what they do. The shoes, these enhanced shoes keep your feet extra warm, allowing you to run faster and further through the snow and zombie infested streets. The hat, not only does this hat keep your ears warm, it gives an authoritative air about its wearer. Does it say on here? Born leader, full set 3. Yeah, it doesn't say anything else that I can tell in there. The gloves, these toasty hand warmers will give you an edge in combat, allowing you to rampage through the snow and zombies with extra effectiveness. And the fur, the fashionable and functional coat, will keep you warm and cozy while also providing a handy storage space for your extra equipment. So apparently you can, let's see, vault armor +5, horde, the gloves +1 die in combat, the hat, vault born leader, so that's going to be some kind of an ability, +1 free movement for the boots. So so the big thing on here though is that, but there's more to these items. So basically, when you have this equipment on, you gain access to all of your red level skills. So I'm not sure if they're assuming that you're already in red level when you already have these and you basically just get all the skills. I don't know what would happen if you got all these while in like yellow, or somehow even in blue. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if they clarified that or not in the comments. I'm not going to go through and look, but that was that update. And then update 110, which was technically the last update during the live campaign, but they unlocked the Frozen Fortress box, and the last stretch goal was for this character here, Rebecca. Although she speaks fluent Imperial Standard, Rebecca says she's from a very distant place, far from the Empire, that few are likely to understand. Indeed, her manner of arrival left the survivors she rescued speechless, seeming to step from somewhere and nowhere at once, if that makes any sense. All right, so it says here, Rebecca is a resourceful survivor with a powerful set of skills. She has a range of abilities at her disposal, including the ability to quickly learn and use any skill of her choosing. She can command the guards to freeze zombies in place with her melee attacks. On top of that, she may also pull fellow survivors into her protection and away from danger. So that is pretty cool over there. I'm pretty sure this is named after one of the designers, Rebecca, in the game. So yeah, that is pretty awesome. I like this. Basically, every single character in here has been pretty cool. I've liked them all. I can't think of one like that I was just like, this is hot garbage. But I do wish, because this was announced a little while, I feel like, before the campaign was over. Like, I feel like it was announced a few hours before the campaign was over, so I'm a little bummed that we didn't get past this one. But the last update is winter is ending. What a season this has been. We've joined forces to defend Winterground from a frightful horde of enemies. We've bolstered our ranks with heroic survivors and faced the unprecedented threat of the White Death. The third time's a charm, as they say in the third campaign of Fantasy Zombicide, was a thrilling ride. We couldn't be happier. We couldn't be happier about how great it was to have all of you with us as we return to this beloved Zombicide setting. We may not have met the last stretch goal. Rebecca can't be stopped when it comes to helping others, and whereas she wouldn't otherwise be here, she's a step forward out of nowhere. So they basically gave everybody Rebecca as a. Usually, CMON will do that anyway if we didn't get to the last stretch goal instead of, you just always get the last one, hit or not. I think I've seen them like campaign's got like 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and introduce another stretch goal. So but yeah, that is going to be that. So, and then there was a sad post right here that apparently Daenerys, the office cat, did pass away. So that is pretty sad right there.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Apparently a special appearance by Siri during that. But anyway, so there's that. It's kind of a bummer, especially like on the last day of the campaign, to lose the office pet. So yeah, it's, I mean, uh yeah, it's that sucks. Anyway, so we'll move on from the sadness, unfortunately. So thank you from all of us here at CMON Games. We'd like to say thank you to support of the campaign. We also like to thank the incredibly talented team that worked on the creation of the game, the developers, writers, all of that stuff. And with every season, winter comes to an end, and now we look forward to the future, eagerly awaiting the time when the game gets delivered to you. Da 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 da. Now, so there's a couple of important things right here, some important questions that I know will come up. They'll probably come up in my own comments here. But here are the next steps for the campaign with the pledge manager and everything like that. Project I'm backing just succeeded. My card was declined. What do I do? There's what you do right there. Now, here is what we got right here. As the last snowflake falls and a warm breeze starts to blow, you may probably wonder what's next for CMON. Before you expect it, there will be news regarding what will come. Make sure not to let the news sneak up on you. Keep an eye on our Facebook page in the upcoming weeks for announcements. If I remember correctly, I'm actually going to look it up over here. So, yes. So, they keep on talking about in here. I was just trying to make sure I got it right. But to don't let things sneak up on you before you expect it, this, that, and the other. And I was the first thing that popped in my head, and I had to go back. I had to look it up to find out if I was remembering it correctly. But didn't CMON recently get Assassin's Creed as a thing they were going to be doing? So this is from October 10th of 2022. It says CMON is proud to announce that Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft video game series, which celebrates its 15th anniversary this year, last year, is coming to the world of tabletop role-playing games for the first time via CMON's publishing imprint, Guillotine Press. The license agreement will give players exciting new ways to explore the vast world and time periods of the video games as they enter the Animus, searching for long-lost secrets and pieces of Eden to aid them in their long fight against the Templars. Now, I'm not affiliated with CMON or anything whatsoever, but the fact that they, and I kind of want to glance through the comments back over here, but I'm pretty sure this is the only thing I can remember them posting about the Assassin's Creed license coming over to CMON, and I'm wondering if that is going to be their next Kickstarter, is going to be an RPG. Doesn't say any. This is RPG. It doesn't say anything in here about board games. I feel like somebody else did a recent Assassin's Creed board game, so I don't think CMON would be doing it. I think the board game license is with somebody else right now. Yeah, Triton Noir had Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice, and even on their Kickstarter page, they've got something in here for Brotherhood of Venice Apocalypse. So it's another another Kickstarter campaign is listed as an upcoming project. So yeah, so CMON doesn't have the board game license for it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do some kind of an RPG. I'm assuming. I mean, it's CMON. It's gonna end up going to Kickstarter, but yeah, that to me, Assassin's Creed role playing game is slated to be available for pre order in 2023. So I don't know if something changed and it went from just a normal pre order in 2023 to a Kickstarter, kind of the opposite of what happened with um, Overboss, where the new expansions which are coming out were going to be, or new expansions coming out was going to be on Kickstarter, and I think they changed it to where it was going to be just a pre-order. But there's that. So that is my um, prediction for what this is. For what this is alluding to. Yeah, I think it's going to be something for Kickstarter for the for Assassin's Creed. It might be something completely different. I just know that Assassin's Creed, with CMON having the license for the role playing game, that might be something they put online. I don't know why they would do a Kickstarter with it or not. It just says what's next for CMON. It doesn't say anything about Kickstarter, so it might not even go into Kickstarter. They might just be alluding to the Assassin's Creed game going up for pre-order. So if that's the case, that makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, so look up. I mean, potentially look out for that. It just said the Assassin's Creed announcement over here just says pre-order in 2023. So I'm assuming from October, it's probably going to be. I would say that would probably be quarter 2. That would be my thought. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the final numbers that this campaign brought in as far as figure counts, all that kind of stuff. Compare it to Green Horde Black Plague and throw in a little bit of Undead or Alive, and then kind of see where this game finished off comparatively to other more recent games in the Zombicide genre. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So Black Plague ending out this their campaign, they finished with like 92 survivors. We're going to go talk about survivors first. Black Plague finished with 92 survivors. That is between the 10 artist packs, which had I think four survivors each in there. That's the 35 stretch goals plus the artist packs that were in part of those stretch goals, because there were 3 that were involved in that. That's the Wolfsburg expansion. I think there was like a heroes pack of 5 additional heroes. There was the core box itself, which comes out and there's 2 extra ones, Gom and Thela. That came out to a whopping 92 survivors. Green Horde, on the other hand, this is the one I kept on thinking I was doing the numbers wrong. Between the Friend and Foe expansion, the Ultimate Survivors, the No Rest for the Wicked expansion, the Smith and Bonner boxes, the core box, all that stuff. They ended with all the stretch goals. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but they ended with like 55 survivors. So it was a lot less survivors. Again, I went back and forth through a lot of stuff to figure out what happened with that. Even on my spreadsheet when I was calculating it, I think at this point with the day 22, they only had 26 stretch goal survivors unlocked. So it was a very low number by that day. Even like day 22 ended with Grayson Gruber. Speakhead was at day 24. So like I said, it was a very low number going into it. But yeah, they ended with 55 survivors. Comparison with Undead or Alive, I'm going to talk about that for a second. Undead or Alive had a weird number for me because official survivors, it ended with 100 survivors even. It was actually 107 if it was the expansion. I can't remember the name of it. It's probably behind me because I have Jake's Undead or Alive stuff here still. But it was whatever expansion it was that had the where you can switch back and forth between the mounted version and the unmounted version of the character. That brings it up to technically to 107, but it's really 100 survivors, with the extra 7 being the mounted versions of them. So technically 100 or 107, depending on how you want to look at it. White Death ended with 110 survivors, from what I can tell. So that's breaking it down with survivors. It was the combined stretch goal survivors with the daily unlock survivors came up about 65. The TMNT with the add-on with the extra hero in there gave us 8 more survivors. Eternal Empire gave us 8 more survivors, and then um, there was another 29 survivors between um, the various warlords packs and all that other stuff. So that grand total at the end of the day came out to 110 survivors. That's a little bit nuts. Abominations, named abominations. Remember, I gave that caveat before because of like the extra this, extra that, da 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 da. Named abominations. There were a total of 9 in Black Plague. There were a total of 15 in Green Horde, plus the dragons. So I think those dragons were other abominations. So that technically brings it up to 17. Undead or Alive, we actually tied with. Both White Death and Undead or Alive ended with 22 abominations each. That's not anything to scoff at. Necromancers, we ended with 2, I believe, named Necromancers in Black Plague, 7 in Green Horde. And there were no Necromancers in Undead or Alive because it's a different way the system's played. But we had 9 total named Necromancers. Again, that's from the stretch goals, and that is from the stretch goals, and then Shredder being a Necromancer, and then 2 more from the other all the other random packs. So again, counting all this correctly, we ended with 9 Necromancers. We also had 4 named Walkers, 1 named Runner, 2 named Brutes in the game. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff in this game. And like I said, to play it all with 6 survivors, yeah, it's going to take you about 18, 19 games. Every game, every game, playing as a new survivor with all 6 players to get through all of the survivors in the game. Abominations, I don't know how many that would take because of the fact that you could theoretically end up spawning more than one abomination during the course of the game. I mean, even if you just got the base game with survivors, you're still looking at. I just had it here. You're still looking at like 65 survivors. You're what is that? 11 games that you would have to play of the game to get through all of them. So it would be more than what's in the core rulebook. So even if you didn't get all the survivors, that's just from stretch goals, that's not from the core box. So 66 plus, that's 71 survivors right there. So that's 71 survivors from just pledging the base pledge. So that's a little bit crazy. So yeah, tons of content for the game and whatever. So yeah, it's cool. As far as what we beat out, let's take a look at it here. Like I said, we ended at what 30. I'm gonna have to write it down here because I don't remember. 3, 8, 3, 9, 6, 1, 4. So we beat out Zombicide, Undead or Alive. That only brought in 3.3. We beat him by $500,000. Invader ended at 3352 K there. So technically, how many number of? So there was more. That's weird. Must have been the way that the stretch goals were. There were more backers for. There's more backers for. It's just weird how math works. There's more backers for Zombicide, Undead or Alive, but so they beat out backer wise both White Death and Invader, but money wise both campaigns beat Undead or Alive. So that's weird. So then the next thing I want to compare is right here, Zombicide Second Edition. Again, more backers than this campaign put out, but we still dollar wise, basically because of those extra packs and everything, dollar wise brought in more money. Then again, looking at it again, Black Plague right here. Black Plague brought in about 1,000. Yeah, it was 1,600. There's 1,600 more backers for Black Plague um, than there were for White Death, and like I said, they brought it at the end, and then finally, there were a whopping, what, 8,000 more, almost 8,000 more people who backed Green Horde than the other two campaigns. So Green Horde definitely, like I said, the more popular of the um, games there, but with slightly less content. It's weird because, like I said, right here, there's nothing. There's 5 there, 1 there. These 2 packs right here, those Ultimate Survivors there, and then no other packs with heroes. So yeah, that was a very low. You're basically getting the zombie variety more so from there. And then speaking of zombie variety, the one with the most backers, 9 million. There was no way we're getting anywhere near Marvel Zombies. So that is basically it for these update videos. This is the last update video. I'm not going to do additional update videos on things that come out later on because we're basically going to go into a monthly updates for this campaign after this. The campaign's over, so they're going to do like different updates on, hey, this is when the pledge manager comes up. Hey, this is when the pledge managers do. Hey, this is some box of stuff that you'll get in a year. So, but yeah, so not going to be doing many updates on this. I don't know what I'm going to do about our next series. If CMON does another video series like this, I don't know what other games, because a lot of games don't have their Kickstarters set up the way that CMON does like this, so it's kind of hard to do like update videos on those kind of things. So I'm looking to see what to do next, what kind of things to do with that. I might put up some polls on the channel to get your guys' opinions on what kind of things to cover and how I'm still trying to navigate and figure out what I'm doing with this channel here. Um, uh, I may do just a live stream where I'm just kind of hanging out one night soon to kind of uh, talk out loud to myself. It's kind of what the end of these videos end up being anyway. And hopefully you guys will join me for that. If you want to know when I'm going to be doing those, go ahead and hit the notification bell at the bottom. We'll probably be here on YouTube, but go ahead and hit that notification bell for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That helps me out a lot. We got up to 163 by the end of this campaign. I think before the campaign we were just over 100, 110, something like that. So we got quite a few subscribers during this time period. So I thank you guys very much for joining us there. Hope you stick around for what we got going on. We got some things to edit, some gameplays for various CMON games to go through, kind of figuring out what back here I also want to play on the channel, and then also thinking about some non-gameplay stuff to do on the channel as well. So if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, please comment below and let me know your ideas for that, or I'll have the chat turned on, I guess, during that live stream. So we'll take a look at that too. So I'd like to thank you guys for tolerating me this far. This has been Rockshire Gaming. I have been Eric. This has been Zombicide White Death, and I thank you guys for watching. Bye.